nice work, and if I had a chance, I tried to comment on it. Some of you need to, are not so neat. So what I would like, this is number 8, okay? So what I would like to see, and I will give you, when we have our quiz, I'm telling you now, 1 point for writing the correct formula. And you're going to write that formula for every single problem I give you. Because every time you write that in, you are then going to plug in your values. It's very easy to make mistakes. And I was telling somebody, I was doing my homework this morning at 6 o'clock, and I made a mistake.
Wow, you have a mistake.
I have a mistake? Where?
Yeah, 4 times 5 times 4 is not
80.
100.
There you go. I was doing this at what time?
So you should do your homework the night before.
Well, you know what, sometimes that doesn't always happen, but I'm up early. So there you go. But had you done that, I could have seen that your work, there was an error there. You're absolutely right, I made an error, but had I had time, I would have gone back and checked it. And I made a mistake, but I could see that the person understood me, the problem. So you're going to have to live with my answer right now. So if I have an error there, let's see if we can't continue it and a marker correctly. Okay, so this should be 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 16 is?
It's 4 times 5 first, isn't it?
Does it matter which order you multiply?
No, but it's easier to multiply 20 by 4 than 16.
Okay, all right, you're right. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 20 is 80. And I end up with a negative 80. So this should have been 64, let me see.
Negative 16.
All right, I have a negative 16. So if I have a negative 16, I guess I could just do the whole thing out right here. All right, I need to move this up. So I'm going to have a, what is this, a negative 16. And it's over what? 10? Over 10. So I'm going to have x equals a plus or minus. What is negative 16? Negative 1 times 16. Okay, so what is the square root of 16? 4. So I have 8 plus or minus 4. And what happens to that negative 1? I. Okay, so I have negative I over 10. Now, I can simplify this. Can I combine this? Because what kind of a number is 8 plus or minus 4i? As a name?
Complex number.
Complex number, good. It's a complex number because it's a combination of an imaginary and a real number. We call that a complex number. And I'm going to rewrite this as 8 over 10. Remember, this is 2. We're leaving it as a fraction. Okay? So I have 8 over 10 plus or minus 4i over 10. And so can I simplify 8 over 10 is going to be 4 tenths? 4 fifths, sorry. 4 fifths. Plus or minus. Can I simplify that 4 and that 10? 2 fifths. So I'll have plus or minus 2i over 5. Okay, I could leave my answer as such, or since my denominators are the same, I could then put it back over if I wanted to. Okay, but you need to just be aware of it because sometimes you won't be able to simplify this, and you can simplify your first term. Okay, you're always looking to simplify. That's why when you had asked me, Eli, if I could just leave this as negative 16, is this in simplest form? Can I simplify that further? And I was able to simplify it to 4. Okay? Does that answer your questions? All right. So that was number 10. All right. Number 9. Where's number 11? What?
May I use the background?
Yes. So we did 8, 9, 10. Did I do 11?
11's the one about the cylinder.
Okay. Oh, 11. 11 was a beauty. Not a doozy. I said a beauty.
It was elegant.
Elegant. Okay. everybody agree? Okay. Is everybody good with this?
Yep.
With the beginning formula, okay? Let me just read this again. The surface area of a right circular cylinder is given by this formula. What is the radius, rounded to the nearest hundredth, of a right circular cylinder of height 5.55 and a surface area of 120 meters? So is this at this point a plug and chug? Okay, so I'm just going to plug in my values. So I had 120 is equal to 2 pi r 5.5 plus 2 pi r squared. Okay, so what is a little bit different about this problem than the other ones that we've done? Pi, geez.
Can you just multiply?
What is today's date? Today's the 11th. Pi, it's almost pi day, 314. Okay, so I know that I can substitute a value for pi as 3.14. And first, actually, what I did was I rearranged this, because I know that when I have a quadratic, I generally, the standard form is to have my exponent to the second degree at the beginning. That's all I did was I rewrote it. And then I'm thinking, all right, I want to get rid of pi. So all I did was just wrote it with pi. And so far so good. Am I allowed to have a decimal? I guess I have a rational number right now. And I rewrote it again, and I put it in standard form. Right? Anything? Did I do anything different? All I did was I multiplied this times 6.28 times 5.5, and I got 37.4 r minus 120.
I have a 34.5 flat.
No? Okay, I'm going to just move on as if that was correct.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think it's 34.5.
Jeez, I don't know what I was doing this morning. I didn't have enough coffee, I guess. Okay, so it is going to be what? 0. All right. Anyway, I'm in standard form. Can I use my quadratics? Could you factor that? Would you use factoring to solve that?
No.
No. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And actually, you know what? 2.4. Yeah, you're right. I would have gotten a slightly different answer. And so in this case, it was just a matter of plugging and chugging. And my answer is going to be slightly off because you're telling me that I did a multiplication error. But is there anything here? Did you guys get the right answer for number 11? The answer, I would have gotten two answers, a positive and a negative. So obviously the radius couldn't be negative, so it would have been what? The positive? 2.41 meters. Okay, Jackie, Sarah, and Laura, do you see where your error is? Okay, you good with that, Laura?
I
No?
got
All right.
an imaginary number, and so I couldn't really divide it.
Okay, so then let's just step back a second. So, Cal, what is 6.28 times 5.5? Cassie, you said that you had 6.28 times 5.5. 34.54.
34.54.
Okay, so that's the correct answer. So I am going to plug that in, and I'm going to have minus 34.54 plus or minus 34.54 squared minus 4a c. Did you use two negatives here?
Yeah.
Minus 4a and c was a minus. Okay, and that whole thing is over 2a, which is what? 2 times 6.28. So I have, anybody have this out done so I don't have to do the whole thing?
Yeah, but it's on the page.
Okay, minus, so help me out here, everybody. Anybody have this correct? So if you don't, you do it. You pick up from where I have it. If you don't have it right, then you should be able to do this at this point.
Okay.
So R equals, everybody write this down, and because we're looking for the radius, equals a minus b plus or minus blah, blah, blah. And I'll redo mine. with my correct numbers, and then, let's see what you have and where your error is, okay? Do you wanna hit pause, Renee, please?